Holy cow. Why do we put ourselves through all of this drama and this stress? It is crazy. If you guys weren't around for last night's absolute thrashing of OPT3, then let me tell you a story. Now, this may sound a little bit like a repeat of StableFund or StableFund 2.0, but let me assure you, this one had a very different outcome. Let's talk about it. Hello everyone, my name is Sean. I am the Crypto Smith. Thanks for joining me for this video on Optimus or OPT3, however you like to view it. We had an absolutely crazy night last night. Starting around 9 o'clock my time, the chart for OPT3 started to absolutely tank, as did the rest of the market. The rest of the market was going through a sell-off, I believe caused by the FTX exchange rumors going around that they were insolvent. So the whole market was basically just tanking. But OPT3 took that sell-off to a whole new level. It was insane. Here it is right here, right? We've had dips in the past here in the OPT3 token, but nothing like this. Right? The Telegram group was going nuts. The Discord group was going nuts. Everybody's saying, oh, it's the end of OPT3. The project's dead. It's going away. How come I didn't sell? You know, DeFi dudes rugging this project. All sorts of crazy nonsense went on. You know, it was exciting for me too. I put about $500 into this, or a little over 500. But that's money that I'm throwing away, right? I assume that money's gone as soon as I put it in to this degenerate gambling play that we're doing. So I'm okay with this. However, a lot of people are not and cannot stand this kind of stress and probably shouldn't be in projects like this. But this thing tanked hardcore. It was crazy. It went down to all the way down to 32 cents, and it doesn't show it on this chart. But if we look on this one here, 32 cents it shows as the bottom, right, in a rapid amount of time. This started around 9 o'clock my time, or 8:30, and then by 10 o'clock, it was hitting the bottom. Now, everybody was screaming, how come the bots aren't running? How come the bots aren't buying back in and causing this price to stabilize? Well, from what we heard from a DeFi dude today, he explained the bots turned itself off. Why? Because there's no reason for it to fight against a massive amount of sell pressure and just start spending money out there to buy tokens for no reason when it's just going to get squashed. So it waits until it bottoms out or gets near a bottoming, or it's the sell pressure starts to slow. Then it can turn itself on and basically start buying back in. And you can see over here, index tools, you know, the different bot buys, right? These are usually bot buys right here, smart contract buys and sells, right? They do that. If you go here to total ETH, you can look at some of the big ones here, right? 48, this is 64,000 USDT or 70,000 Optimus tokens. And you can see the bot buys and sells here going back through and stabilizing the price. And it did that. It started to come back. This chart here kind of shows a little bit better. Once it bottoms out, it buys itself back up. And this also is others buying the bottom, or, you know, trying to basically DCA, or maybe they sold up here and they were smart enough to get in, you know, as it dropped, which I'm not going to say I wasn't smart enough. I just don't have any money sitting on the sidelines, you know, some dry powder basically to get back in, which I need to rectify that situation, you know, immediately, because I think these drops like this are going to happen, you know, often enough to be able to take advantage of. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But this goes up and then another sell off, you know, and then basically the bots are doing their thing and they're ramping this thing back up overnight and in the morning. And today it reached all the way back up to $1.32. And then, you know, more sells, people taking profit. That's what this is doing. People are trading this. I'm sure a lot of panic sellers got out right here, probably not going to get back in. But then some were smart enough and used the opportunity to buy in down at the bottom and are making some nice profits. So we're going to see this. And we know, we're told, especially in this project, right, it needs sells. People need to take profit. There's nothing wrong with that. The only issue I have is the basic narrative of buy this token and hold it and get your 1%. Now, that's very nice if this thing is a stable coin, or if this thing is a different cryptocurrency that has actual value other than the OPT3 token. Just as an example, and I just did some quick math. So I was in, I think it was $580 maximum when it was at $1.58, you know, somewhere around there, $1.56. And now I'm sitting at $368.50. Well, based on what I currently have, if the price were to stay exactly where it's at now at 98 cents, it would take me roughly 51 days of just earning my 1% to get back to where I was, basically to get back to even. So it's almost 2 months from now, if the price doesn't go anywhere, just for me to get back to where I was 3 days ago. So that doesn't really sit well with me. So maybe the strategy for this might have to change. I'm not a big trader. I don't like to get in and out of positions all the way or all the time, but this one doesn't have any fees. So this might make it easier. And I'm going to make a plan going forward. I'm going to have some on the sidelines to buy the dips, but also look at this and kind of see where that sell pressure starts to come in. If that's a good time, right? I have to make my own plan for me to go ahead and sell and then wait for it to drop and then, figure out at what point I want to buy back in and then kind of DCA on the way down and then ride it back up, because we know this bot is proven to pull itself back together. And that's exactly what it's done right here, right? We can see it coming down, and these are not only the bots, but there are some people buying back in, but this is pretty much the bots stabilizing the price, bringing this price back up, all of these buys, and then more profits being taken. So it's kind of stabilized here at $1, and not really stabilized. I don't know why they use that word. It's not stable, right? There's nothing stable about it. So it was stable for a while there. It was stable for many days until you get, a whale dump and then panic sellers on top of that, which create this whole cascading effect of failure right here. But now we know the bots will come in and we'll buy it back up. So we don't really have to worry about it going to zero, even though everybody's, kicking and screaming, thinking this thing's over. I'm just quietly sitting by, watching, being entertained by it. And that's where we find ourselves today. This video was going to be about the AMA that DeFi Dude had yesterday and some updates that are coming. And I'm going to share that with you today, but I still had to come out and I needed to share this with you. It was quite entertaining last night, watching the Telegram group absolutely destroy itself. So hopefully you're okay. The dust is settled. Hopefully you got, some Band-Aids on your scratches and bruises from yesterday. But today's a new day, and we can see this bot definitely does work. It's honestly remarkable that it got back up to, $1.30, $1.35 range, and then more profit taking going on. So we know the bots exist, right? There's no human was in there, because you can see these are smart contract buys. Okay, this isn't, this isn't magic. These things are programmed. So now we know why the bots weren't actively buying on the way down while it was crashing, because too much sell pressure. So hopefully that answers questions for you there. Let's go over some information that DeFi Dude gave in the AMA yesterday. People asked about, big sellers, right? Now we just found out big sellers aren't exactly a huge problem for this project, because the bots are going to buy back in. He was very adamant about people being able to take profit, and he takes profit himself. He wants everybody to understand you can't just stack this token forever. You're not going to compound every day for years, right? You need to take your profits along the way. That's the smart move. Now, also, if you didn't know, they have a DAO, right? So Optimus or OPT3 has a DAO. Let's go find that here. And you can join the DAO. It doesn't cost anything, right? I'm a member. There's almost 1,000 members now. And you can vote on what's going on. Now, there was a vote for the Binance chain, basically having another contract, the Binance chain for Optimus. And obviously you can see 87% voted yes. Now, it's not all great news, even though this is going to bring in more holders, more users, which should help increase the price, right? And that's what we're looking for too. We're looking for the price to move and getting that 1%. But with all of this volatility and the sales that are going to come along with it, right, you have to be prepared for large dips and then wait another day or two for it to build back up. So to me, that's a perfect trading strategy. Going forward is, waiting until you see some sell pressure, sell it, start DCAing in on the way down, and then wait for it to bounce back up. And you can keep doing that over and over again. So they're going to go ahead and add the BSC Smart Chain. My question was, what's that going to do, right? What's the benefit of having it? How is it going to be any better than the Matic pairing? And the basic answer is it isn't going to be any better. It's just going to bring in a different group of people. Some people don't like the Matic chain, or they don't really consider it. So, and some, really love, and they want to jump in on things that are paired with Binance. So that's what they're going to do. Now, the other question or concern is all of the people, are they going to jump out of the Matic token and run over to the Binance token? Now, I don't know why they would do that. It's not, you're still getting 1%. It's still an OPT3 token. So there's no net benefit financially there. But that is a concern of what would happen if everybody just bails out of this one for some reason. Obviously, that's going to affect the price, affect the chart. So they're going to have to think about that a little bit and see what happens. Maybe they just throw it out there and whatever happens, happens. They're also not going to take any liquidity from the Matic pairing. They're going to add their own fresh liquidity from DeFi Dude. He's got enough money. So he's going to do that. And then they got a marketing plan. They're going to do a 12-month marketing play to bring in more users and to help increase the price. Obviously, the more users you have coming in, buying in, that should help move the price up, right? Not financial advice, but that's generally what happens. He says some of this stuff is going to start happening around December, January, and then go for 12 months. They're going to do marketing and advertising, some Google, CoinScope, CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko. They're going to sit down with the devs and consider, how to deal with the inflationary aspect of the token and kind of, maybe average that out or help level that out a little bit. Obviously, we don't want the token count to go too high, right? That's going to affect everything as well. So perhaps a higher burn rate. I don't know what they're going to do. And then they're talking about truth seekers for an audit, which I think that's super cool. I would love to see that as well. So how do you guys feel about Optimus right now? OPT3, are you guys still with it? Right? Did that sell off yesterday scare everybody? Right? There was a lot of not good information right in the Telegram group because people panic. They say anything. I probably wasn't the nicest because panic sellers drive me nuts. And unfortunately, there's no way to get rid of that, right? We're never going to eliminate panic sellers and, paper-handed fudders, whatever you want to call them. That's just a part of the space, right? That's what you get. Especially when you're in DeFi, a lot of people get in, they don't know what they're doing. They put money in they couldn't afford to lose. And so they have to panic. And now they're freaking out because they just lost their rent money. Or now they're not going to be able to eat next month, right? Right? Not smart. This is not smart to do. This is absolutely gambling. That's what you're doing, right? You've got to think of it that way. You put money in, right? If you get money out, that's a bonus. But don't expect all of these are going to work out for you. That kind of solidified my trust, at least in what this project is supposed to do. So hopefully that will calm a lot of people out there. If you were able to witness this and see the magic of the bots buying back in, right? To me, it was astonishing. And yeah, sure, I can get a little nervous. You see something that you have money in just absolutely tanking like that. Nobody wants to see that, right? I don't want to see that either. But I knew I'm okay. I put money in I could afford to lose. Right? If that $500, went away and this program was gone tomorrow, well, right? I'll start over and do something else. But it was pretty cool to see. I mean, honestly, people were just freaking out left and right on Telegram, especially. There's just the immaturity out there is crazy. It really is. But it's also fun to watch and it's entertaining. So that's what I got for you today. That's the update. Kind of give you a little bit of what happened last night and maybe what you can do going forward. I don't know what your plan is. Are you just going to sit on the 1% and hopefully, we're going to get more people into this. Marketing is going to start, right? There's going to be more buyers. The price is going to go up, right? Hopefully. But for me, I think I'm going to take a slightly different approach, knowing that the bots are going to buy back in. Right? I mean, that's the key. If you know this, right, it's just a matter of learning timing, having a plan, knowing when you're going to get out and get in, right? It's just that kind of stuff, right? And be responsible, take your profits along the way. So I think that's all I got for you right now. All right. You guys have a great night. We'll see you next time.